All right, guys, you're going to have an absolute blast. Grand finals start right now.
Thank you very much, Alex. Yes, indeed, we will. It's going to get exciting. You're getting rid of the G2 scarf already.
Yeah,
getting a bit hot in here.
Where's the flag?
It's too hot in this little box. But this is going to be an incredible game, I think. Rematch of the Pro League finals. And just, I think, all-around action. None of these two teams you could say are boring to watch.
No, they certainly aren't. And it was funny listening to that Dust segment because everything they said was very accurate, very true. The one thing that I'm surprised that I didn't hear them bring up was that defense of Banana from North yesterday was so scary. I know we just had a chat about it before coming on the camera. MSL and Config were absolute monsters at the top of Banana on the CT side, and if they can keep that control in this match as well, that spells a lot of trouble for G2. So a lot of reasons to be pumping for the Danes here in this match.
Ways to abuse that as well. I look forward to getting into that just a bit more. I mean, it seems like people have forgot a bit how to play Inferno, but there used to be a very cool boost at the bottom of Banana on the T side, where you just, boost the guy with the AWP, let that be Kenny, and snipe off Config or MSL. I mean, I think there are solutions to this problem. Well,
it's easier said than done. There are, they did a phenomenal job of timing with their nades and using the Molotovs and everything, but it is a good point with Kenny because we'll just touch on it real quick. Won't need to bring it up too much. It's very well known that AWPing on the T side of Inferno is a very difficult thing, but Kenny is one of those AWPers that defies all rules, that defies all logic that you can possibly place in it. So if anyone is going to make it successful, if anyone's going to make it impactful, it will be Kenny S. And the countdown, I think the knife round is still yet to be done. No, it's actually completely live.
They have been doing it already, so I'm wondering, is everyone in this arena ready for a little bit of Counter-Strike? Giải klar, Malmö! There we go. North and G2 in the grand finals here at DreamHack Masters Malmö. Let's get this show on the road. G2 on the T side, and North going to be on the CT side first. And Valde is right in the middle with a Glock bullet in his jaw. Has to fall back right away, and then they're going to power up behind it. Another headshot lands, and G2, they're not even going to commit to this. That's so much damage, almost no risk. Another bullet on Config. What in God's name is happening here, Moses?
Well, we know they're not going to be shy about taking fights, and they've done all the work so far. Just got to finish it off. There's the opening kill. Config in the back, though. He's got to go down quick. The reinforcements are on the way, but the bomb site is lost. Not even any utility on this G2. Oh! I thought that was NBK for a moment, but this pistol round is already over, Anders.
That's an unbelievably brutal way to get started. The run and gun with the Glock out of the French team, and it's so beautiful. 3 connections all over the map, and I mean, with your North at that point, what do you call? Is there anything you can do?
No, there's really not. I mean, G2 played it great because they get those 2 Gooshes up mid. They know they've got 2 players very low, but don't press the issue. They fell all the way back to B, and the crazy thing was it even pulled the defender, pulled MSL away because he had 2 teammates at the A bomb site say, I've got 10 HP, I can't take fights, we have to fall back into the site, we have to be passive, we can't even play for information. Trying to hunt down this armor. G2 is just relentless at the moment.
And they're going to find him as well. See a couple of G2 shirts in the crowd and some cool signs as well. The fans are definitely here and have shown up. And that's a nice way to get started if you're on the French side here. So winning the terrorist pistol, always good.
Yes, it is quite good. And I mean, the big thing is, Chad brought it up, is just the timing between North playing the semifinal and now G2 coming out with that kind of pace. You don't get any breathers if you're North.
No, and I would say that's the downside to being G2, is that you may be a little bit more cold. Certainly doesn't seem like it. They're just straight in here.
You can make the argument either way. I don't think anyone's really figured it out completely. It matters on the team as well. Config gonna get aggressive. There's another great pop flash. This is what we talked about. Their timing is impeccable, and they've got the opening 2 kills.
This B duo between MSL and Config, it did remarkably well yesterday, and we'll see if it can continue today. This was very well timed. That was a 3-man flash, I believe. That's not easy.
I think yesterday in the quarterfinal, they even had like a 5-man flash. They couldn't get any kills from it, but I mean, great job. They figured out a perfect flashbang to throw. If you're G2 here, it gets tricky because you almost don't know if you want to pressure the B bomb site, but in all likelihood, you probably realize if this is a standard setup, there's still going to be 3 over at A, so you still kind of want to go towards B. It's just very worrying considering what just happened.
The problem is they're going to be close against that C-set 75, and it's not like AC is that far away with the rotation over by that archway. G2 have 1 flashbang. Maybe if it's good, it can work. That's a nice jump for information there, but it still goes down. MSL with the kill, C-set in hand. And now it's Config with a deagle. Buying time, but not going to get the kill. Shots with a good crouch in. Leaves it 2 versus 2. AZ and Valde going to come in from separate angles. One good flashbang to force a bit of pressure there. Kenny, though, dangerous with the AK, just shoulder peeking that and doing a lot of damage.
Still got more to find. This is a great setup, though, from G2. They should be safe, despite any crazy shot at AZ, who's gotten close up. They haven't had eyes on it. There's the kill, and there's Kenny with the tap. Just keeping that angle pre-fired, keeping bullets raining over, and Valde can't make a move. So they survived some early danger, but, I mean, just equally, that puts them on notice as well. You're not going to be able to take that B bomb site easily.
That's just very well done. I like the little jump to see who's on top of the box there, because that's so easy to communicate, and yeah.
And then it's a brilliant setup. I mean, he's on that box, but MSL stacked vertically directly in front of him. So turning the corner, you're pre-aiming above, and you get surprised by MSL with the CZ.
It's going to feel really great for G2. It puts North back on USP and nothing else.
Look at this buy, though, from G2. They know they've taken some economic damage, and they know this is the round that there's going to be nothing bought up from North in terms of armor. So Apex gets the MAC-10, but they have Shocks, and they have NBK on just pistols, CZ and P250. So saving some money this round by cheating a buy, and actually these are great dinks coming out, but that one's a bit better.
Yeah, NBK winning the fight. It's annoying getting shot in the face with the USP, even if it doesn't kill you straight away. Just, you have to be so much more careful for the next engagement. I like this from Valde, though. It's very aggressive, just tired of waiting around. He's going to spot out one. Could have been a good kill on NBK, but he's a bit quicker this time. So now there's only 3 members left of North. Can't expect too much out of them this round. In the next round, though, it's going to be interesting. I'm really, really stoked to see that fight over at Banana and how it plays out. G2 will have seen it. They must have realized how good that was in the last match for North, so...
Yeah, surely someone told them, and I know they've got NKJ here as well, so
yeah,
it's not just Smiths as the coach, but they've got other eyes working on it. Here's Apex trying to build up some money. That entry fragger, we know if Apex goes off, this G2 team is hard to stop, but in reality, you can say that about any of their players. Another great game out of Shocks would be phenomenal in the grand final, and with the MAC-10, he doesn't immediately find config, but there's the USP. So now we get to the exciting part. The first gun round coming out. We'll see the buy out of North. They did invest in that second round, so you're going to see it somewhat beat up in terms of the utility they can bring forward, but it's all right. 4 M4s, the FAMAS on MSL, and importantly, the utility on MSL and config is great. They've got 2 Molotovs, 2 smokes, flashbangs, they got HA needed, so this B defense, this banana hold is going to be as strong as it possibly can.
First smoke there was set up by AZ, so he's going to fall back immediately after, just helping them out, making sure they can save their own smokes for later on. That's really sort of the name of the game here. G2 using quite a bit of utility to clear out the apartments, which are not often occupied, I feel like, from the CT side. Usually no one's up there.
Yeah, we mentioned that a couple times. Teams don't necessarily like being so aggressive in those apartments. It's tough. Takes you out of the fight. There's a lot of spam spots, and teams just mostly just want to leave it alone. There's the banana control. G2, at least in this round, not even going to mess with it. Just going to be content to let them have it. North, they're playing a mid-control style. Cajun and AZ going to boost up to peek around the corner over the smoke. And it's a little bit too late. They've already made their way up, and now they're pressuring the bomb site.
Flashbangs are in. Valde has to stay alive in the graveyard here. Otherwise, this bomb site's going to go down really quickly. Reinforcements should be coming in. There's a good spray over the smoke to take down Shocks. A jump up from Buddy to drop Valde and then BK with a great headshot, taking down MSL. That's important. It's going to be 3 versus 4 now. And the bomb, it's in the pit for the moment because they need to clear out AZ. 1 grenade and the Molotov follow-up. And AZ, oh no, he is on fire, but not in the good way. Config and Cajun B have to just fall back here. That's very tough for G2 to do. I feel like waiting in pit that long, you've got to be wondering if this goes wrong, if we don't get the kill on AZ right away, then the backup's going to be there. It
shows a lot of poise as well, which is something that G2 has been criticized for in the past. But just not having success, not getting that site immediately, but still being patient, especially when Valde gets a kill, it starts to get worrying. They obviously must have spotted AZ because he hadn't fired a bullet at that point, but just taken out by nades. Good call for the save from North. This is also fun on this map as well because NBK is turned, I know he does it on Nuke as well, but he plays more of a lurking role, and he's doing it here on Inferno. That's a great find in alt mid to just delay any reinforcements that are going to be coming in. So great all-around job by G2 largely. I mean, we still haven't seen that battle at Banana.
But that's also one way to avoid losing rounds, is just let them have it as much as you can. I mean, that banana defense can be just about as good as it wants to be, but if you can't hold the other side of the map, then G2 are going to be fine with that trade. 4-0 in favor of the French. And North saved 2 rifles. It's about the only positive thing we can say so far.
Yes, and what do they do with them in this round is another big question. So Config and Cajun and MSL all towards the B bomb site. So maybe this is an attempt at a bait and switch where Config is being highly aggressive, but you still got a couple players in the site. If they do go fast banana and get that kill, maybe they decide to pressure and run into a trap, but that's not happening from G2. They are just extremely cautious, taking apartments control over towards the A bomb site. 2 players at the bottom of mid. That's Body and Kenny S. They're just going to be waiting for a push that isn't coming.
Config, not the sort of player, it seems, that likes to be still for too long. Gets a bit anxious after a while and wants to go and find a fight. He's still lingering over there, and the rotation starting to happen towards the A-bomb side. Might have to be pretty quick here. AZ's in a great position, though. It's kind of hard to spot him when he's on top of that bicycle down in the pit, and he can duck down very easily. See just one little crouch, and he's under the wall. Crouches back up again, and he can spot anybody's face. Still 50 seconds left, and a lot of damage being put into Body. And G2, what are they going to do here?
This battle is a bit tense. Kenny just holding the angle. It's close enough range for MSL to be effective, and Apex already has one into the bomb site, so yeah, this is going to be tough. They're crunched and pit as well, and they're going to turn the corner of this bomb site. There's Kenny peeking out. It looked like it could have been a tough battle for the bomb site, but G2 makes it easy. That's going to be a 5th for them, and Config again just bailing out, trying to save that weapon, and he should be all right. The question, though, if G2 wants to, they have enough money if they would like to chase it down, but they may decide to just save it.
That's a great round to explain and help understand why you can't let the terrorists have control of quad, which is that short side on A. If you let them do that, you see they throw the grenades and then they're on the bomb side. It happens almost simultaneously. And from a counter-terrorist point of view, you hear the grenade and you're trying to call it into your teammate, and then you're getting shot in the face at the same time. Like, there has to be a delay between those two things for you to mount any kind of defense.
You're also trying to find the timing where you're not going to get blind by any flashbangs that are thrown or damaged by any grenades, and also having to peek and make sure they can't make their way into the site. So, yes, this time they only have pistols, obviously, so it's much more difficult. And right at the end, NBK gets in a fight with Config, but nothing comes from that. They take some damage, no one falls, and we're going to get a timeout out of North. Quick start for G2. 5-0. We mentioned yesterday the defenses out of North have been stellar.
But right now, all of the players that you'd like to see play well on G2 definitely are. It shocks Kenny and Apex, all at 5 kills with, well, 0 or 2 deaths. It's a very, very good sign right now for the French side.
If you go the other way with it, if you check out the Danes, you know, we keep pumping up this B defense, but you're right. If the A bomb site falls, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. Cajun, B, and AZ each with 0 kills, so they have yet to get started in this match. AZ, we know, has had a phenomenal tournament in terms of his turnaround from recent performances, and Cajun as well seems a little bit resurgent here in Malmö.
I'd love to see G2 try and just grenade down either Arch or Quad this time, just in the anticipation that North will be more active. I think that'd be fun if they actually went for it. It looks like this time they actually want to try and take the fight on Banana. So let's see if all this hype defense between Config and MSL is worth it. It really needs to come in strong for them here. They've got all the utility, so it's not going to be lacking in grenades, certainly.
It's an important hold for MSL and Config. They need to establish this as successful. MSL is close up. If G2 can take this with ease, all of a sudden the entire map opens up for the French team, but that's Valdi, that's NBK getting a bit over-aggressive. And Boiler, double nades come out, shocks all right through the smoke, he gets responded. We saw that fight be so successful for MSL and Config yesterday, but now it's returned. The equalizer is found and rotation's coming over.
They're not going to go for the boost. Config sees a shoulder, but this is dangerous. Is he going to stick around out in the open? One good flashbang on him, and he's going to be done. Apex pretty far back, not setting it up just yet. He could set it up for Body if he wanted to. Instead, they're just waiting for Config to make the mistake. 40 seconds here. Flashbang is in. Config wants to go for the fight, but he's going to go down to Body instead. I think Cajun was putting that up for Config to capitalize on. Now, it's a 4 versus 3 here, and only 25 seconds. Can Cajun hold on to this? He's got the AWP, and he had a monstrous game, the last one against Gambit. He's got to do it again. They're sneaking in close. Kenny's on the other side. There's one flashbang. And Cajun hiding at the back of the bomb site. First kill happens on Body, and he gets back behind the pillar. Second as well, and Cajun looking for a third. He baits out the shot, and backup is coming in. There's only 5 seconds. All he has to do is live, and that's going to be the round. Kenny has to fall back. Cajun with very smart positional play.
That's so well done. Able to get in cover after every shot and pick them off. Cajun is the hero there. So you could say what you want, that MSL config duo didn't hold it as strong as we thought, so G2 is going to be happy about that one, but obviously the great rotation, and they had their time. This is the time they could have killed him. A couple shots go out there. Obviously shoulder peek to bait. Kenny has his shot on the other side of the box. This is great. Brilliant AWPing from Cajun, just stable, nothing flashy.
And that kind of is the style that I would identify with Cajun anyway. I think
Yes.
his positional play is so strong. It's very hard to AWP against him. Just because he's always going to be in such a good angle. A little double grenade coming out on Body, but the damage has been returned and then some.
Yes, and how aggressive do they want to be? Pop flash out. There's the smoke up from MSL. Body's already through it. They spam through the smoke. That's twice now. 2 rounds in a row. MSL has been killed through a smoke. No sight of his opposition. Got to be feeling a little stressed after that. It's basically the same exact round that G2 ran. NBK over towards Boiler in these hulls. And now with that 1 kill towards B, they can shift the attack over towards A because it's been weakened with the player rotating out.
This is great stuff out of G2. Absolutely shows that they have been studying the game from yesterday. They know what's up, and that's the kind of preparation you expect out of a team that wants to win this grand final. Cajun just looking towards the boiler room with the AWP, and there's going to be a big presence in middle. He misses the first chance. And the problem is falling back just means you're going to get completely crunched. Coming out from apartments as well as NBK any second now. And Cajun, oh my god, they're in trouble right now, North. It might not seem like it right now, but this is going to be almost impossible to hold. He's forced in, does take the shot, and Apex goes down. That's not bad at all. 18 seconds, they have to commit to this site. The only one that can hold it here is maybe Valda. Close range, Cajun not getting the crossover shot. Valda gonna drop the bomb, and now we're down to 8 seconds. They gotta be quick, G2, otherwise they're gonna run out of time. NBK with a great double kill, and the bomb plant will happen. 2 versus 3, right on the edge here for G2.
That's sick, that's so well done in North. Cajun did everything he could to hold on to that bomb site. It's not gonna happen, and they're just gonna save again. They're gonna give it up, because these are the only guns likely. They can still force a buy in the next round if they keep these alive, and they will. But you can see this is a tactical approach to G2 that a lot of us have wanted to see for some time. Ever since this squad was formed, it was looking at it, you're just saying this is skill. This is so many good individual players, but they're missing the tactical side. Here you can see Molotov thrown from A apartments all the way over to the mini pit. That forces Cajun B to peek out towards Rap side, and you can see it was Apex coming through the smoke, was there to pick him off, but Cajun wins the battle. It just locks him out of the fight. Great job, and even running down to the wire, still North almost held on.
And you want to say if they replayed that battle between Apex and Cajun a couple of more times, probably Apex wins most of those.
Yes,
that's not easy.
That's a stressful shot to win if you're Cajun. Just being in that kind of a situation with all the smoke around, with you knowing it's going to be the execute, and also knowing that it's just you and one other player who's in the bomb site. You don't even have that second player in pit. That's where you saw Shocks when he turns that corner to the default plant spot. He's looking pit because he's expecting there to be some kind of crossfire set up. Still, the bomb site gets lost in a second tactical pause out of North. That's 2 very quick. They're going to start running low, so even if they do get back into this game, it might hinder them as it goes on if they don't have any timeouts late in the second half.
Now we're in a grand finals, and I would say AZ's had a very good tournament, but right now he's actually got 0 kills.
Yep.
First 7 rounds. As an individual, that's obviously incredibly stressful. It looks like a bit of a counter Molotov coming in. A lot of damage being dished out. Body will get the kill, but this might actually not be that bad for North. Valda trying to see if he can find the timing through, but he's being spammed down. The follow-up grenade to take him down. Oh, Kenny, that's unbelievably annoying if you're Valda. He's gonna just have to shake his head, and yeah, I can understand why they're falling back from this. It looked like they were running into a bit of a meat grinder there.
I thought it was insane, actually. They were running through that Molotov, but I mean, this is G2 we're talking about. They haven't lost all the traits that made them such a fun French team to watch in the past. Just throwing caution to the wind, and I mean, you think about it, MSL twice now that he's been spammed through smoke without seeing his opponent. That time it's Valdi. Some of these players have got to be feeling very stressed. Not going well for them, and MSL's just got to bail out. Good kill. Actually, no, he's going to go for more. He's feeling it.
Just pretending. Almost takes down Apex. Down on that ramp towards T-spawn, sorry. Config trying to hide. I'm wondering, Moses, back in the day, did you ever had a round like this or a game like this, like AZ's having right now, where just nothing's connecting? Like, what do you do? How do you get out of that?
I mean, you just have to find ways to be impactful, right? Because the main reason why it's so tough to bounce back from that is just because you feel useless for your team, and that's what starts to make you feel awful. So the big thing is you always know you're going to have another moment coming where you can have the impact needed, and even if you're not going to be putting up monster amounts of kills, even if you're not getting double kills, you know, every round, even when they come to your bomb site, you can just say maybe it's, you know, a clutch situation, maybe it's a 1v1, maybe it's a flashbang I'm going to throw for my team. So you have to focus on what you can do to positively help. And just find something small to build upon. But no, I never had one of those answers.
All right, I was waiting. I thought maybe you were dodging that question a bit. I'm glad we found that out. Config being very aggressive here towards bottom. Madonna all the way down the T ramp. He's going to get 2 easy targets lined up, and this is one of those rounds where you want to say if they can't win this, then the first half is probably going to be a complete wash, isn't it? Because you know that you've just got 90% of the way there.
Yes, G2 is going to be kicking himself for that. They seemed everything was going so well, and that's the danger of someone like Config. We know that he is not scared to make any play at any moment in a game, and they just let their guard down for a moment, and he pounces. Kenny S misses his smoke as well, so rough round for G2 overall, and they're going to have to just cross their fingers and come through this and hope there's some missed shots on the north side of things.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Jump out into pit. Cajun hears it, gonna pull out the pistol instead, and Apex will go down after getting a kill. Shocks with a good return, taking down Cajun. Leaves MSL on the bomb site here with backup coming swiftly, including from those apartments, which Kenny was ready for. That's almost unbelievable. Now we're back in a 2-on-2, and North, this cannot happen. Config will take down Kenny, and he's gonna shut down the last 1-2 for the quad kill to get the second round on the board here for the Danish side. That got way too close, didn't it?
Well, Config does a great round. The tough part for G2, they really were never going to get back into that at that point when they were in the pit, just because Shox had the AK-47. He's the one that needs to take over the bomb site, and he's got low HP, he's in the pit. He just can't be the aggressor. And Kenny's hoping for some picks, hoping someone peeked, but without anything given to him, he as well wasn't going to be able to do anything into that site. So great job by Config, a 4-kill to get his team finally on the board again. But now the challenge, there's the duel, and Kenny's gonna win it. He is so sick at that shot.
Another big victory for G2 early on in the rounds here. The North have got to be very worried, not able to win that fight over at Archer. The pressure that it puts on the A-bomb side, we've seen it time and again. G2, when they start wrapping and collapsing on that A site, having just 2 players there, it's almost never enough, is it?
No, it really isn't. This smoke is going to block them off, but you could see Kenny trying to pick off Config. We saw this a bunch. MSL pushing down while Config plays for the bait. I don't think G2 is necessarily going to go for it. They have a pretty clear avenue with that pick over towards A.
I mean, this is dangerous for MSL. He doesn't have a smoke or anything, so if they decided to Molotov this corner to check it, then he's just dead immediately. He's waiting and looks like he's going to have the shadow advantage. They're going to go for the double peek, and MSL just gets the 1. That might not have been enough here. Let's see how fast G2 want to be. They still have a presence over at Boiler, and it looks like they are going to slow down at top Banana. But we are at 25 seconds, so they need to make up their minds right now. And this boost is great for North. This is maybe what's going to win them the round if it happens. A lot of Molotovs raining in on the other side. 17 seconds now as they make their way through. Config going for a big spray, and only connects with the 1. He needed a bit more flashbang to cover up anyone trying to cross there, and the bomb will be planted. So AZ and Valde, is this going to be the retake? Is it worth it?
No, it's another round again. I think they're just locked out. AZ's already bailing out. Valde's stuck, so he's going to have to fight his way out. But it is going to be the 8th round for G2. They have denied North from putting rounds together this entire half. And look at all the bomb plants we've had, Anders. This is the 6th bomb plant we've had in 10 rounds. So a lot of success at getting into these bomb sites for them. Just a great job trading. MSL needed to get 2 kills there because with that pickoff, Config had to cheat his rotation with MSL in an advanced position like that. And then even with no smoke to cross, they just sure, even if someone's on the boost, they're going to trade him off immediately. This is really, really good stuff on the T side for G2.
I feel like anytime you're a team playing up against Kenny, you're just hoping that he's not having a good day, and definitely not a great day. And right now, he's at 9-1-1. Just look at this fight against Cajun B. Incredibly sexy Counter-Strike that's coming out. And then also AZ on the other side of the scale, just not having a fun time. 6-round gap is developing here between G2 and North. And if we contrast the kind of defense that we're seeing here out of North from what it was yesterday, it's so much more passive.
Well, they haven't really had the utility to be as aggressive as they'd like. Now, here's the benefit. G2 decides to pick up the pace towards Banana. They can catch Apex off guard. Nades to force Config off that corner. There's the flash. MSL not moving. He's getting counter flash. That's so unfortunate. Unlucky timing. He's got to go with this one. He turns around, but he gets taken out. They have not found the same timings. They're not as synchronized as we saw yesterday in Config. He's just got to try and man this up right behind this smoke, but no one's coming through it.
Does some good damage onto Apex, but you're absolutely right. Yesterday, all it took was one good flashbang, and MSL will get a couple of kills, maybe Config instead sometimes, but this is a different story. G2 with great counter flashes. They've left body up there, which is always a good idea. It's a very strong position to hear rotations falling out of the B-bomb site, and also if anyone goes to peek Banana, maybe they forget about this little corner. 40 seconds now.
Yeah, as soon as some pressure is applied, it depends on the way Body wants to play it. He can play it passive and listen for information and try and pounce and flank, or if they apply pressure to the A-bomb side, he can get aggressive with it and peek out and try and pick someone off on the rotation. At the moment, though, because he's playing passive, you see the bomb rotating back. They just want to come back to this portion. They're just relying on him to hold down the map control, and he's going to sneak in. And he could spot the boost, and Cajun's got an angle. Here come the nades. Body's going to lead it. He spots Cajun jumping up. He's blinded, though. Is he going to check for Config? Over to the left at Oranges. There's the check, and he gets the kill. And even Cajun B's going to be brought down. No impact from him.
This is a masterclass in playing T-side Inferno out of G2. North look like a team right now that have been completely outplayed here. We saw them yesterday, and they looked so good against Gambit, and now they've got no chance at all, it looks like. So what can they change? You said they don't have the utility to be as aggressive as maybe they would want to be.
Honestly, I feel like I mean, it's going to sound crazy, but this is a situation where some of these setups they've had aren't bad. They're getting unlucky with some of the timings. Maybe play a little bit more passive. Don't use as much utility at top Banana. Play it passively there. The tough part is they also don't want to play too aggressively at the A-bomb site because Kenny's been effective at getting those picks. So you still have to find a way to hold the map control. You need something because you've given G2 everything in this half. So play top mid with 3 players, maybe get aggressive in halls, but you need to find a way to give your team just one pick, some kind of an advantage.
Why, Moses? Why did it have to be AZ getting found at the end of that round? It's just not his game, is it, right now?
Nothing's going right for him.
Oh, man. Well, everyone has to go there at one point, it seems, in their Counter-Strike career. Everyone has to have one of those games. You just always hope it's not in the grand final, but...
Well, listen, you want to talk about people having bad games in grand finals. Remember, there's that historical Cologne 2015 grand finals where Kenny S had that very bad game against Fnatic. And
on Cobble?
Yeah, ended the tournament in tears on the stage, shaking hands. So he's definitely bounced back. It happens to everyone, even the gods.
Yes, it does. And I mean, it felt like really he went through a long period of, you know, just not being very happy and not being very effective either. And it's taken a lot of personal growth, it seems, for him to get back to the level that we're seeing it at now, which is terrifying.
Even if you go back to 2013, you know, being dropped from the very games lineup that was competing with NIP, you know, he's been a player that has been removed, that's had to make that growth as a player and as a person. And he's back on the stage in one of the most respected oppers we've had in Counter-Strike. So great story for him. And there's the pick. That's great. Aggression from Valdi. He's going to find one. And then they just back off.
Maybe a tiny smile creeping across the faces of North as they pick up that first kill, but focus has to still remain. They only have USPs on the rest. It's the limit to how much Valdi can do in this situation. Cajun, realizing that angle was open, obviously good news, but How are they going to hold the bomb site against 4 rifles with just USPs? I just don't see this happening here. G2 just need one good grenade, one good Molotov on the bomb site, and all of these positions are going to be very hard to occupy. NBK, he's in first, and he's not overextending, even trying a bit of a wallbang trick there. And AZ just hiding on the site. He's going to pick up his first kill. That's not bad at all. Very low on health. MSL coming in with a headshot, picking up an AWP, and he can't get the shot. That would have been genius. Valde now coming in from middle. Bomb will go down, but he has a defuse kit, and now a 1 versus 2.
He's got to go for this. He needs to be the hero. That was a very staunch defense.
Sneak it around the corner, but they're both ready and watching for him. And NBK with a great shot. The only one of the round for him. Shocks with the triple. And North just, they can't quite connect the dots. It's close.
It is getting very close. They're also at the point now, we've seen it a couple times, and you can't even fault them for this. It's been good calls throughout this half of when these bomb sites get lost, they're just saving 2 rifles, maybe sometimes 3. They're at the point in the game now where they can't do that. They need rounds. They can't keep playing for the next round because there's only 3 left. And they've got to hold it here. And I think we are going to start seeing a little bit more passive of a defense towards this B bomb site. Just holding it early on, but just slink back, play turtled up, because this has been taken advantage of a number of times.
You have to expect that there are going to be a few North fans in the arena right across from Copenhagen here, but they've been silenced a bit, I can hear. G2 putting the crowd to rest. Oh, they're still out there. Now would be a good time to cheer for North because they are 8 rounds down, and the French are looking incredible on this first map.
Now this is where it's going to get tough for North as well, because yes, they're playing more passive defenses and they're not giving up players early on in the rounds, but they're giving up much more map control. And seeing as how they haven't had success in the defense anywhere, it might not funnel G2 into the stacks that they want.
Dangerous peak. But AC lives for the first barrage. Valde boosted up. He's going to get one, dropping down, and Apex ready to receive him. So a quick trade down to 40 seconds, and G2 look like they want to execute another round on this A bomb site. If they can just find one more opening. The bomb is sort of still a bit back, so they can still swap it around in case they run into too much opposition. Apex, he's being allowed so far into quad. There's no reply right now for North.
They'd love to pop flash peek this, but AZ and Cajun B, they have no utility. They can't do anything. So G2 gets whatever they want. Here comes the hit, gonna try and storm in one more time, clearing the corners. There's one on the site. Great trade. They've got to clear out more, but AZ staying alive as long as possible is his only goal, trying to get one more kill. Time is running down, and there's Shocks to finish it off. Bomb plant immediately after.
With just 4 seconds, he's gonna have just enough time to do it. At least the rotation is not that far off. MSN on Config. That B-bomb side duo now is the time, but NBK will take down a big kill for the double, leaving Config alone in a 1 versus 2, trying to get through the smoke. He gets a headshot on Shocks, and NBK's in the pit, and Config knows it. Jumping up in the graveyard and looking for the angle. There's NBK gone down. Config with a big 1 versus 2. Gonna be going straight for the defuse here. These rounds are so uncomfortably close.
They really are.
It really feels like for North to win a round, it just takes 100% out of all of their players.
Yes, and sometimes more. AZ getting a kill in the back of the bomb site. It was his delaying, staying alive. As little as that did, it finally helped out. This is a great 1-on-2 for Config to win, and this is what's so scary for them, is at an individual level, not necessarily being here at the moment, because 2 of the rounds they've won, remember, one was Config when he had the only M4 and everyone else had pistols. He gets 4 kills, including pushing down Banana and getting 2. Now he has to win at 1-on-2. This is tough times for North, and they've got to string them together. If they can win this, if they can get this 5 rounds, we know Inferno can be pretty T-sided. Obviously, it's still going to be a phenomenal half for G2, but North can live with that.
Good peek to top mid. Shocks is going to go down over at Archway. Cajun not ready for the re-peek from Apex, who's going to put up a smoke. Quick Molotov to the corner, and this is going to be a bit quicker this time. G2, they've been slow on the A side, but it seems like they've picked up the pace. Valde gets 1, the second kill as well, and AC from the pit finally goes down. NBK with a great double return. And this would be a crushing defeat in this round. If he can win this 1 versus 2, and Nathan to be a hero, could have almost gone down then. The blind peek coming in from MSL, and with the bomb down in front, I don't see the miracle happening this time for NBK.
It would have to be mistakes monumental from the North players.
Well, boosting where he can see it might be the first step in the right direction here. He's one bullet away from death, so we're talking about perfection. They make the jump on over, and MBK still waiting for it. If the bomb was down, it'd be a bit different at least. But he has to go and pick it up eventually, and sneaking up by that bicycle and picks up the bomb, so first step in the right direction. Definitely going to have a chance to smoke it off. They've got the money anyway, G2 next round, so this bomb plan not going to help them out that much. Question is, can he hit the headshots? They are coming in from either angle, and MSL will take him down. And North win the round, I think, largely due to this guy, Valder, picking up those 2 kills. That's a 4th round now. Mr. O'Toole.
Yes.
It's 5 rounds or 4 rounds. Is it going to be enough, North? Is it realistic to make a comeback off of that?
Yes, you certainly can. We've seen it done. It's obviously not ideal. I think the more important thing is the fact that North stringing some of these rounds. If they were to end this with 3 kills, you start to just feel, or I mean 3 rounds in a row, you start to feel a little bit more positive. The team can get into it a bit more. You're going to help these players come alive. That's what we've been missing. Some of the setups have looked, good. It's not like they're just getting straight up beat on the setups. It's just the players aren't being efficient in their positions. So you start getting them to come alive, win a pistol round. That would be a good start.
Now you're really talking, aren't you?
G2's got to be happy they snagged one here.
They got here even though they won.
They won 0 of 6 against SK. That was an insane match to win, an insane series to win with no pistol rounds.
Yeah, against the best team in the world. Apex gonna try and get his way out. Hazy takes 1. He's gonna get completely banged by Shox, who takes 2 great headshots. Running in towards Arch. MBK gonna be dropping Cajun. These peaks are so lethal. And MSL on Config gets round number 15, so they have to go for the retake. 2 on 4 would be a great one to win. Though they have to deal with Kenny, who misses a shot for once, but not enough to cost his life. And he's not even that scared. He's just gonna go back for the fight. Body taking down MSL. And Config with 1 out of 4. 3 more to come if he's gonna get this. NBK goes down as well. Tries to adjust and he gets shocked with the headshot. Gets a chance to read out now. Body on the site. And Config looking for the last one, but Body with a great headshot right on top of the pillar for an 11-4 finish in favor of G2. And that is such a one-sided first half.
It really is. That is brutal from G2, and it just started out early. Tactically, outcalling them, the trading this entire game has been so phenomenal. Great shots from Shox there coming up mid. It seems like that was kind of an answer that North had towards the end, was play more of a mid presence. But G2 focused on the B bomb site so much early on that those guys didn't really see a whole lot of action.
And we started talking about Shox and Kenny a bit, and they have been playing well. They're top of the scoreboard for G2, but the really frightening thing is that everybody else on that team is right behind.
That's what I'm saying. That's how you know that this team is traded so efficiently, is when you have all 5 players within 4 kills of each other. It's Shox and NBK at 14 and 12, and then Body, Kenny, and Apex all at 10. So you're having 5 players contribute to this G2 effort, and it's showing. And as we just said, 4 or 5 rounds, you can make a comeback off of this. You have a window of opportunity, but it starts with the pistol round. If you can't win the pistol round or the second round, then you're really, really in trouble as North. Those are about the 2 mistakes you can give up.
Yes, and we'll see how they do. They're up against the USPs, so one tiny mistake can cost you your life really quickly. MBK with a bit of a drive-by shot down the middle, not going to connect with anyone. Second half coming up here, the first map of the grand finals. The Shox just spotting out the apartments, not ready and willing to take the fight. And there's no reason why he would. So this is a very common setup for both teams, I would say. Nothing flashy coming out. We do have 2 smokes, though, on north side. Yeah,
so no one even in danger quite yet. I mean, no one's been pressured at all from the T side. I mean, they're just sitting back now. They did have a little bit of aggression towards apartments, but they've all fallen back, so looking for any aggression that G2 is going to come out with. I'll tell you, the one worrying sign is with these smokes and with the fact that North has already adjusted over to the B bomb site, Body and Apex are playing deep in the site. They're playing behind dark, behind triple box. They're giving up a lot of space. They have to hit some huge shots.
And the flashbangs are in. Good one on Body, forcing him back, so he can't take the first couple of shots, but Apex will get a headshot and a second as well. Body hiding in the corner. He's finally going to get run down, but that is a very good start to the defense. MSL and Cajun. Bomb goes down, holding on to the site here. I can understand why Cajun wants to be aggressive. He has to close out shots. This is a fight for the round, and he's gonna take it. USP versus USP, 17 health, 2 health left, and just 3 bullets, and Shox is gonna win it. Now everything rides on MSL. He's close range behind the pillar, missing the first chance, and he's gonna get outdone. That dynamic duo, Shox and Kenny, winning the round, making it 12 for G2.
You could feel that Cajun B is not feeling some of these fights at the moment. He is pretty shaken, it looks like, from that first half. Really, really rough, couldn't get into it. That time against Shox, just really couldn't land anything. But, you know, I said these guys are gonna have to hit some phenomenal shots as they came in, because that's a lot of space you're giving to the Glocks. And if you don't hit them, all of a sudden they get far too close for USPs to handle. But they nailed the ones that they needed to. 3 kills before they get taken down. That's beautiful work from G2 again.
That's very well done. With this much of a lead, we're gonna have to see some kind of breakdown, I think, from the G2's side, just for North to have a chance to get back in here. The economy needs to break down, but there's gonna have to be some sort of mental breakdown as well. They look so much in control, and obviously they have an enormous amount of experience on that team, so I am not sure. We haven't even seen Kenny open yet on CT side, but
no, not yet.
That can be lethal too.
That's the next challenge, isn't it? I mean, they have to get there first is the big thing. It's going to be another hit towards the B bomb site. This time they have some Molotovs they can add into it. NBK and Apex playing here. NBK going to spot. He has a decision to make, because this smoke's going to come out towards Coffins. Likely smoke him off. Actually, they're just going to walk in dry. They're not using the utility. There's the smoke a little bit late. He sees everyone coming. He's been forced back. Good dink, but a TK comes out. That helps him out. Apex now. He's mollied. He gets 1 kill while blind. 2 for 2 trade. That's great from North.
Yeah, definitely worth it, although Cajun getting caught. Shox not able to follow it up. It looked like that should have been a sure kill. Still helps out, obviously, with the damage. The bomb has only just gone down. There's plenty of time, although they look like they want to run straight through the boosters in. And Kenny getting a kill on Valder. MSL and Cajun, they are in a really weird position. Trying to cover the ruins from that side won't be easy. This flashbang, it might be well timed, but I don't think it's going to buy enough time, though. One comes through, body goes down, and now the other two going to wrap around the other side, almost stepping on top of each other. There's one, and Cajun, he can't make it work. It's right at the edge. That would have been the big round to win.
That would have been huge, and they tried so hard. They almost did it. I think North buys here again, though. I think you go right back into it. You got 4 kills, you got a bomb plant, and you don't have enough rounds to give up. At 4-13, you invest in this, and you put the entire match on the line. It might be the best opportunity you have to reset G2, try and get some of those easy rounds and claw your way back.
And you are exactly right, Moses. They've gone straight for the buy. North know they are at the end of the rope. They have to turn this around. G2 are looking so good on this first map, and someone's going to have to step up and stop them. And Conflict's really been doing his best so far. He's going to have a bit more space to work with on the T side, so if he can get him rolling, might be able to create enough space for the rest of the team to make their way in. Just at the corner over at Banana, and Apex winning that fight early on.
Oh, there's an unwise peek from Apex. It's NBK all on his own behind the fountain. Nowhere to fall back to. He's got to win these. He gets blinded up. He does take out one, and you said it. There's Config. Double kill. Cracks the way into the bomb site. We saw North save in a lot of these situations, so how much does G2 want to devote? Because Body hasn't moved. I don't think G2 moves forward from this position. They're going to give it up. They realize they have such a big lead. The only way North gets back into this game is if they take control of the economy. And they don't want to let that happen this early. That's a great call, I think, from G2. Conservative, but smart.
So is that what they're doing, Moses? Just picking up the phone and calling Config and saying, "Listen, we need you to win this game for us." Up until this point, we've been holding out, but
we didn't need you before. We do now.
It's really serious now. You know, we're lacking behind enough. There's a good round there, stealing the 1M4. North going to be up at 5 rounds to the 13 of G2. With, as you said, a bit of a gift in Apex over peeking the corner.
Yes. Oh, I mean, he was peeking the corner, and he doesn't realize that Config has already crossed over. That's what caught him off guard, and then this is just great work by Config. Beautiful trading. Poise as NBK peeks around each side of that fountain. So 5-13. That's been 3 rounds in a row that North has attacked the B bomb site. I wonder if they're setting up for a switch over towards A. And this is the response from G2. 3 players here. Nades are out. Molotov smoke down deep. They've only used nades from 2 players, I believe, so could be hiding the fact that there's a third here.
Yeah, that can always be a really good surprise, can't it?
Yeah, Soak and Apex with a pop flash, but MSL and AZ, they open things up. There's the third player, but that's shut down. Good idea. It fails.
It's not bad at all, and obviously Kenny and MBK just gonna have to save on the other side of the map, so something is working here. It's always a bit strange when you get these games where it sort of feels like if North could have started now on the T side and we hadn't seen the first half, we'd have a slightly different sort of mental picture of what this game is like. But G2 know they just have to win 3 rounds, so what's the ace up the sleeve from their point of view? Is it just waiting till Kenny gets that AWP?
I mean, I don't think they necessarily have to have that, because I think they still have players who are good enough with the M4s. Even Kenny himself is not a slouch whatsoever with the M4. But obviously that's going to be the next challenge for North, is when he gets that AWP. Not expecting config there as well. BK just wants a gun, doesn't he?
Desperately. Or at least live with the armor and the utility. Not going to be allowed. Config out on the hunt for a double kill. And another round happening here for North. Slow and steady wins the race. 17 kills for Config. In spite of how far behind they are, he's actually top fragging in the server. I guess that says something.
It certainly does. G2's going to save here pretty much entirely. Body with 1 flashbang. It looks like they want to bring that towards A and have some kind of an ambush set up at top mid, but they're going to have another question next round if they want to buy or not, because their money isn't great. Kenny's going to have plenty for the AWP in the next round, but outside of that, there's going to be some players who are lacking certain things, so they have to decide if they want to double save here, if they want to go for, you know, a decent buy with Kenny having an AWP.
Well, listen, I know I was waving the North flag earlier, but I kind of want to see them peek top mid here just because this setup is so cool. Gonna be a bit of a flashbang into the middle, and unfortunately for G2, nobody's there. In fact, Config with an absolutely ridiculous 4-man. That's a lot of murder happening in the middle.
All they've done is fed the beast. He's gonna be loving that, giving him some kills to get him hyped up, and you can see him there on the screens, calling out to the North fans still in the crowd to get them loud. You're starting to build up to a reason to be excited.
It's not bad at all, is it? 7-13. Kenny with the AWP, as you said. That in itself is a problem you have to solve. Now, Mr. O'Toole, what kind of tools can they use to get rid of Kenny and his tool?
Well, Anders, they can use, obviously, some flashbangs up middle just to force him back, because you know at some point he's going to want to take that peek down, just see if he can get a cheeky kill to start the round. So you can do 2 things. You either post up Cajun with his own AWP to watch for that angle, or you throw a pop flash just to force him back so you don't have to deal with it whatsoever. Their next answer is, I don't know, because it's tough, because Kenny likes to be mobile on this map. He likes to do it from the B-bomb so that he can peek down mid. He even likes going into apartment to take a shot into alt mid, so sometimes it just gets lucky on kind of guessing of where he's going to be next. And this is beautiful from North. This is a great call.
MSL has but 1 flashbang to set up this. Looked like a play out of apartments. They're sort of falling back.
That's unfortunate. I mean, obviously, they don't have the information we do, so they don't know that A defense is just 2 players there. The G2 not rotating anyone back yet. Just now starting to do it. Kenny's on his way. Looking like MSL and Cajun instead. This looks like they'd set up a fake if it's going to be anything. Maybe send 1 player, but return to the A bomb site.
It's very curious. We're not quite sure exactly what tipped them to walk out of there. Maybe there was just a smoke at the end of the hallway. They thought, no, we're not going to do this.
I think it's because that smoke comes up and they don't have any presence anywhere else on the map. So if they just wait for that smoke, G2 can get the idea. This is tough timing on the flashbang or smoke. Kenny's going to be blocked. Of course, he gets aggressive. There's, oh, the flick, it misses. He tries to adjust. He thought MSL was going to peek wider. It doesn't happen.
Still 2 men on the bomb site. Down in the pit is Shox. Now would be a good time to come alive. Apex coming in with a good kill, but oh, the pre-fire from Config. And he also took down Shox in pit. And MBK, they've already spotted him. They can go and hunt if they want. They've got the money certainly on pretty much everyone except for Cajun. Well, and he goes down first, so...
Well, they're going to salvage that AWP, you'd hope, right? If you're NBK, at this point, you know they're hunting for you because they know exactly where you are. I think you just get aggressive. I think you start going back towards the A bomb site. Obviously, got to be careful of the bomb range, but you go see if you can get any more kills, take any weapons out of their hands. Still, first challenge for North was getting control early on after losing the pistol, but then from there, the next one is Kenny S, and they've passed that with flying colors. 3 kills for Config. And G2, I feel G2, I don't know if I want to say they're shook, but they've taken 2 timeouts within the span of about 3-4 rounds. So they're worried.
Little thumbs up from Config, saying, yeah, I've got 24 kills. I'm doing all right. I feel like we went away from this kind of Counter-Strike for a while where it was just sort of one person. It was very early on in Global Offensive. We had these teams and where it was either, you know, a Shox or a Kenny or a Guardian or someone, and they did most of the work, and everyone else was just supporting cast in that sort of one-man frag movie. But it's been a while, and I wouldn't say that North on the face of it is the sort of team that should be playing like this, but seems like Config has just decided that's how it's going to be.
Config just seems like the one guy who's never phased in any sort of situation, right? Never phased by the scoreline, never phased by playing a semifinal and a final within an hour of each other. He just doesn't ever get shook. So he just happens to always show up to these matches, which is obviously great to have, especially a player of his caliber, because you can see, yes, they had a terrible first half, but he's starting to carry them back into a comeback. So he's giving the rest of his team time to get into this game.
I like the little boost setup here. Wish they had a flashbang, but that's on Apex on the other side. Still, if you get a little bit too focused, tunnel vision on fighting NBK, might forget about the C set that's right underneath. They're going to be falling back after a little bit, and it didn't look like he did any damage to North either, so they really don't want to get close to that. I would have stuck around, I think, if I was NBK. Just wait to see if they want to take that battle. Lure them into Shox.
Yeah. Well, also you would have liked to have just peeked and got that 1 bullet headshot with the Deagle. That would have been cool as well. Regardless, North. I mean, they're still going to head towards that bomb site. Presence up towards A. They're just still searching for information of what kind of a stack they're going up against, if any. What kind of weaponry they're facing, and MSL's not seeing anything. So this is G2 playing very passive, giving up map control. Look at the read as well. Shox and Apex rotating just now. So is everybody. They're just going. This is a gamble. That smoke pulls all 4 of them back, though. Here's the fake, and it's not even really meant to be a fake. It's just presence. And MSL, he's going to get 2. Can he get a 3rd? Yeah, no. Just barely misses out on it, but he's done his job. He's opened up the B bomb site, and it's a good thing he did, because it wasn't easy for them either.
Well, they had a really tough time over at the other side of the map. Config and Cajun are low. It's a good angle for him to be holding, and tragically for G2, they just don't have the grenades to easily take this fight. Eventually, he's going to have to peek. He wants to bait it out. Cajun getting a good kill there. Looked like he was about to miss the chance. And now it's on Shox. No armor, no kit. And with 1 C set 75, it's going to have to be damn quick for this to get even close. And you can hear the bomb is already very far ticked.
He just wants Config to die. He wants that op. He does not want that to survive. That's his whole goal. He hears the footsteps. There's the peek, and he gets it. And now Cajun, it's too late in the round. Oh, if he saves this AWP, that is a godlike play.
That's so smart. Shox showing that it isn't always just about the kills. That's a lot of money, $4,750 saved. And even worse, he can pass that off to Kenny next round.
Or if they had wanted to, that can be a double op setup. You never know if they want to switch into that. We've seen it happen in the past. That is quite nice play from Shox, but they're not going to do double ops. It's just on Kenny at the moment, but I mean, this is a perfect buy. Another challenge for North as they make their comeback. You're starting to believe it's even more possible. We haven't seen a lot of aggression out of G2 on this side of the map. So North is feeling very confident, already taking over A halls. Minute and 35 left in the round, and they have all the map control they want. Kenny going for the timing. It's not going to land.
Good smoke there. Body. Not quite getting the shot. Great transfer. Cajun goes down after the 1 kill, and Kenny standing on the fire, but the AWP rings through, bringing down AC. And MSL comes through, but Apex is there to save his teammate. And that's a 14th round for G2. It looked like the confusion was about to wash away that A-bomb side, but right in the middle of it, they make it work.
Yeah, I was scared for Body because he's peering into the halls. He's spamming through the smoke. He doesn't see the players enter the site, but he recovers just in time, and you can see Kenny fearless with that AWP in his hands, just making plays inside the site. Really beautiful stuff. North almost catch a phenomenal timing. They've wanted to do that for some time. It seems like that's kind of been a plan they've wanted to go to over that A bomb site, is get into position and this kind of explode at a timing you think G2 is unaware.
North getting the control of Banana without too much of a fight. Makes you wonder if G2 are going to try and retake it in the middle of the round, which is something I always love seeing from the CT side.
You don't really need to do that if you have Kenny S with an AWP there. I think he likes to play that so aggressively. Yeah, it's a very cool thing, and obviously it can be effective with the right flashbangs, but with Kenny, with the way he likes to play it, I mean, he's getting you information. You know exactly when players get to the top, when they get control of that brackets portion of mid. Yes, he gets smoked off and he loses it, but at least you have the timing.
Gonna be forced back. He actually falls really far back. There's a bit of damage done to Apex, who is playing over at that B corner. But North have Banana and mid control, so G2 are a bit in the blind right now. Stack 3 people on B. This might be the move that wins them the map. And Kenny gonna be walking in to a whole stack of North players. He misses a chance and back around the corner. But there are 3 players here and the Danes don't know it. Great counter Molotov coming out and North still pushing the issue. NBK on the corner, goes for the spray, but he gets taken down by MSL. And Kenny hiding inside of the smoke. He's got 1 kill with the Molotov, and that is not enough right now. It's been working out. The bomb is being planted and the shots with the smoke are not connecting. Shox goes down and Kenny's in trouble. Valde gonna drop him, and now it's Body running for his life. North, that was a big round into a stack, and it still works.
Exactly. Game on, because North runs into 3 players. That is a brilliant read from G2, just a blind read. Kenny just takes 1 shot through the smoke in mid, and they call for him to rotate over just in case. Now it's smart. He gets aggressive, because if he gets aggressive immediately when he gets to that B bomb site and finds nothing, he just runs all the way back towards A. But even when that hit comes in, running through the Molotov, G2 had all the advantages. NBK misses a spray. All of a sudden, North is in it. This is going to be a 10th round. The money is not great for the G2 side of things. Kenny's got 8,000, but across the board, it's beat up. Another decision to make if you're G2 on this defense.
It's getting to that point in the game where every round matters, every rifle you can save, any kind of economic damage, it's all going to have a big impact. And Cajun starting to hit some of these shots as well. I think you're right, though. He's been looking just a bit shaky. It's not like he's doing badly on the scoreboard. He's got 13 kills, but...
No. Well, you could see there was a round in the first half when he's defending Rapside that he just missed a timing, got caught with a nade in his hand and taken out. He did that as well earlier in this half also. Gets caught with the nade, like not ready for someone to peek. So in that sense, he's just like, you start to feel like you're not quite in the game. You're not feeling or reading it very well. But yes, now these past few rounds, he's confidently taken some peeks, hit some shots with the AWPs, starting to get in the groove. And this is now a scary situation for G2. Back onto pistols. All they've got is this M4, but I mean, should be said, we do like to see G2 take these rounds where they save up for the economy and wait for the higher percentage gun rounds to come in.
Yeah, they don't have a lot this time. A couple of smokes being deployed towards top Banana, towards the middle. And North are fine just waiting for it. Config gonna win the fight against Kenny. They have that 1 M4 on Body, and he's clearing out the apartment with Shox. Maybe they can find Config and take this AK away from him. He's gonna missed the jump and goes back for it again. If he got caught then, that would have been good timing. Oh no. What are we seeing here?
He's just messing with them. Looking to see if there's anything, if they're going to push, if they're going to shoot. Well, you're making noise that make it sound like you land in the window. See if they push, see if there's any kind of reaction, anything to the spam you're putting out. G2 just holding the fort down. Oh, there it is. You hate that if you're Shox. Now the Body follow-up. Is Config going to be ready for that? He is, but can't win the fight. Nice reaction from Body, but Valde now, it's his turn to pounce. Good trades all around. Still, advantage towards G2, and unfortunately NBK was one of the only players without an upgraded pistol.
Yeah, you don't see this working out. If he had a C-set 75 in the back here, I'd say, yeah, probably he's going to take the shot and still win it against AC. MSL actually had his back turned for a while there. Now the question is, He's so far away, though. It takes 15 seconds or so to even run there, so without the defuse kit, it makes sense.
Again, I thought he was going to go for this because you're in a 1-on-2 and you've got armor and a rifle. You could make that happen, but I think 1, without a kit, and then 2, realizing that they just saved specifically for the next round to have a buy, and he can drop this M4 over to Apex, who's going to need a little bit of help with his purchase. So again, a smart decision in terms of the economy. But this has been great out of North. This is now 7 of the last 8 rounds go their way, all gun rounds.
About to head into the 26th round, so I'm going to ask you again, Mr. O'Toole, what kind of tools are they going to deploy to retool the defense on this G2 side? I'm working on that.
Yeah, that takes a bit of polishing. It's not your best work. We'll get there, though.
Yeezys with the CCs was better, I think.
Yeah, that was something else, wasn't it? I think maybe by like the 3rd overtime of map 3, you'll have figured something out.
Yeah, we'll get there, don't worry. AWP back on Kenny. It seems like we're just revisiting the same stuff. We haven't seen the double AWP out. We haven't seen even the pushes down middle that G2 sometimes do on this map.
That's the one thing where you could say, you know, a little bit more aggression out of G2 would be nice, because you could see, look how confidently MSL is taking control of this. I mean, he's going through the motions of ensuring if there is aggression, which is great, but I mean, they've already taken banana control at 1.5 minutes. Earlier, they took apartment control at about this same time. G2, I mean, they weren't able to do this because, yes, they did beat North up on their own T side, but North at least had some presence to slow this kind of stuff down.
Definitely a bit annoying, and again, I just think when G2 make rotations, whether they stack A or B, you want that to be based on some sort of, you know, real info, not just a gut feeling that what's going to happen. And when you're pushed back from Arch and top banana, it's really difficult to have any information. Shox is sticking around at the edge, but he doesn't have any teammates with him there, although Apex is starting to rotate in, so the bomb is still at bottom mid, though. That makes me a bit worried for G2 if they stack 4 men on A.
Here's where you're going to get a pop flash. There it is. Shox throws it out. MSL's not blind. He does fall, but Config wins the fight. And meanwhile, Kenny S is getting aggression. There's that mid-aggression you like. It's not a full commit. Oh, what a shot. Kenny S takes out Valdi. Didn't even see it coming. And this is going to be G2 on 15 on opening map point. AZ, unless he can do it again. We saw him get a 1 versus 5 yesterday. Not this time.
Shutting him down. I feel like Kenny's one of the few opers in the world that actually almost would prefer many consecutive fights with almost no, like, you know, time interval between them. It seems like
he builds up into the battle.
Yeah, it's really impressive, isn't it? Because as soon as he gets the first shot, he's just ready for the one in the apartments, and it's so quick. Valda goes down, no chance at all. 15-11, and it's map point for G2 here. It took them a while in the second half, but now they're looking good.
But this is the tough part about playing Kenny S. I mentioned it earlier. He's so mobile. We saw him up, you know, on the other side, on the wrap side of mid. And then we saw him, you know, up there and then go to the B bomb site and take a shot. And this time, he's lane side, and he's actually deep into the bomb site initially. So there's so many different positions that he uses to get these kills. And if you're North, you can't really neutralize him with nades because you never know where he's going to be.
Bomb is over in apartments right now for the North team again. They've got all the control they want on the map, more or less. Maybe barring this archway here, where they would love to push Shox back. But where are the kills going to come from North? So far, a lot of the openings have been at the hands of Config, so maybe just ask him to get a bit more, push him into overtime.
The classic Config go find some kills tactic coming out. He's in boiler with Cajun at the moment. Looking like they want to take over some control of mid. This is another round. You're going to see a pop flash peek at B for G2 because Shox has rotated over. Here it comes. There's the peek. It's won by AZ. And Apex is out in the open. He wins the first. And NBK going to get aggressive behind it as well.
Yeah, but the AK here for AZ, that's a great triple. It's been about time, but Kenny has taken down Cajun on the other side. And I was about to say, if they push into Kenny, that might have a very sad ending for North. G2.
Not moving.
Yeah, and I don't think they should. Traversing the map with that much time, imagine all the corners you have to check to make sure that there isn't someone hiding. I think that's the real problem.
Yes, and on Inferno, economy is king. We're seeing that here. Both teams making decision deep into their CT halves to save money. And neither team has been able to string gun rounds together, except for, I mean, North towards the end, but G2 is in that same predicament.
A good 10 rounds ago, Moses, you brought up this point that if you're AC and you're having a bad game, and I think he has 0 kills in the first 9 rounds or something like that, you know, you can always sort of look forward to maybe having a couple of impactful rounds where you change the outcome. This time, triple at top banana as they push into him is, I mean, that wins the round almost immediately.
And it might even win you 2 rounds in the grand scheme of things if you're going to look at this next one and say AWP in the hands of Kenny, AK on body. If they don't buy here, that's an easier round to go up against, and you could just, this could be a, you know, a 2-round play out of AZ. So yeah, that's exactly it, and this will start to make you feel better as well. Good stuff from AZ. G2 continuing a lot of aggression, but it's not going to be an easier round as G2 is going to buy into it. So they're not done just yet. Op, AK on Shocks, M4 on body, UMP and Famous otherwise, and they've got good utility. They've got 3 kits. 15-12, and now Kenny wants to take over this game. There's the battle, and he wins it. Right over the flames. That's a new look, and he's got to fall away from this. That might be too much, but knowing all the pathing even while blind.
So rare these days that we see that peek from the CT side down middle. Very risky, and he didn't have anyone with him even to cover second mid, so a lot of things could have been dangerous there. But a beautiful opening out of the French star sniper. Now we've got the 28th round, sorry, in action, and still more than a minute left, but it seems like maybe they're going to try and put a bit of pressure on the Arch side this time.
Why not? They tried it only once, and actually they beat Kenny S the first time he had native peers. This exact play, actually, it was MSL who took Kenny out. We'll see if he shoulder peeks it again. Kenny at the time was getting aggressive. This time he's farther back, and he's not going to make that same play again. It was everything identical to this deja vu, except, oh, there it is, the shoulder peek. They're going to hunt him down. They don't want him to get away, and he does, just barely. Apex is here for the backup. Great teamwork from G2. That's the bomb in CT spawn. That could be the first map.
It looks like it might be. Valdez coming out, but not checking the corner, and Shocks is going to drop him. AC with 16 health and missing the chance. 20 seconds. If they don't fight, they win, and Apex will take him down 16-12 as G2 take down North on map number 1 of the grand finals. It was getting very scary towards the end there for the French, I feel like, but some good timeouts. Yeah. A little bit of an adjustment, a little bit more aggression, and it works out.
And there's only so long you can keep Kenny quiet on that AWP. I think that was the big difference towards the end. You started seeing him get, you know, his 1, maybe his 2 kills per round. His openings, obviously on Cajun right there at the end, was beautiful. And they did everything they possibly could to make that comeback happen. And I think there had to have been some people in this crowd, some North fans, starting to believe. Were you? Were you starting to believe, Anders?
Maybe. I'm not gonna voice an opinion just yet. Keep everyone in the dark. I mean, this looked like it was going to be almost sort of a bit of an uneventful first map with G2 just sort of taking it away. Yep. So I'm impressed. I'm also worried because much of that comeback was just based on Config being a beast. So what happens if that doesn't happen next time? You know, they need the rest of the team, obviously. We do have a whole lineup of people ready to talk about all of this and more over at the desk. So Alex, love to know what you have to say about this game.
Thank you, Anders and Jason. We'll be seeing more of you guys into that second map. And you may want to know what I have to say. I think I want to know what these fellows joining me at the desk have to say, as we're going to be talking all about how that first map did play out. An 11-4 T side, G2 off to a flying start into their map pick, and then some of their defensive woes start to show up. And Config, believe it or not, I'm bored of saying his name now because we did it in the pre-match. We're going to be saying it in the post-match as well, Yenko.
Yeah, how about giving him some help? He had to do a lot of it by himself. I think G2, this is another example of them and their win conditions applying. You know, they get off to a good start, control of the economy. But what was really impressive about G2 in this game is that they had a slower pace than what we usually see. You know, they were running down the clock, waiting for North to use all of their utility. We saw how they were able to adapt to aggressive moves from North, them going for map control, going for that, you know, deep banana push and so forth. So all in all, it was a really well executed T-side from G2.
You said the win conditions were good for G2. The conditions I highlighted for why I thought North were going to win, none of them came true. That transitional defense in Banana was getting picked off. They weren't having any success with that MSL and Config getting beaten down in that part of the map. Kenny with the AWP on the T side being fantastic, where I said he had a very lackluster game previously. So those two things were definitely in the favor for G2 there and contributed a lot. Kenny went +10, and then on the other side of things, Config went +14 with the next closest as -4.
Yeah.
Bit of a rough
somewhere
job
at the bottom.
Yeah, no, he had a bit of a backpack there that was a
tiny bit too tough to carry for at least the first map. But the thing that impressed me the most really with G2 in that scenario is it leads into what Yenko was talking about. It's just how they actually deal with knowing that your opponent is on low econ buys, or not necessarily the greatest one. So with the slow pace, they know that they're going to expend utility on the side of North very early on, and you can see them taking full advantage of it because they know that North's approach to it is not necessarily, or they notice that they don't necessarily go aggressive to find information off of the back of, just a solo guy running out by himself. What we saw, in the semifinals is that if North want to find information somewhere, they're going to flash for each other. They're going to make sure that they do things by committee, and if they don't have utility, they can't do that. So they fall back to the site, rely on crossfires, and that's something that G2 took full advantage of when you saw them. And whenever they moved towards that A bomb site, a ton of their success with the fact that, like Jason mentioned during the broadcast, the fact that they immediately show up on site with their smokes, because Apex has already walked right up by the hayball or haystack, and the second that smoke deploys on site, he's already got the angle for deep pit. And
there's no warning.
Exactly, and it also cuts off the crossfire that North has been using religiously throughout the tournament.
Yeah.
And at that point, it comes down to whether or not your one solo guy in pit can actually get multi-frags, and AZ was having a super rough time to start that game off. I think the first 10 rounds, he had 1 assist, and that was it.
Sounds like that's resonating with you, Chad.
They exploited the tendencies, right? The way that the things that we looked at North doing well was that crossfire and and transitioning back to that, and then being very proficient at getting those frags. In this scenario, it looked like G2, NK, Smiths, they had done their homework. They knew exactly where those players were going to be time and time again, isolated them. They weren't even getting any trades, any kills, which is something that North was doing much better previously.
And it's exactly what you were talking about. You talked about, the fact that North were on the grind. They had less time to prepare for that grand final, perhaps relevant, as you can see, evidence of their homework on that first map. G2 do take it. We'll bring up the stats just quickly so you can dissect exactly where the problems may have lay. Consistent from G2, which is nice to see. The usual suspects, your Apex, your Shocks, and your Kenny, perhaps just a little bit above the rest. On the other side of things, yes, the discrepancy is a whole lot more identifiable. We talked all about how North were a succinct unit, Valde perhaps uniting them, and we were seeing exactly how, Unleash config, but there's a team behind them. We didn't quite get to see that team behind him on Inferno. The next map, however, Yenko, is where I want to take this next. We have just a couple of minutes to kind of set the scene for map 2. I believe we're going to Cobblestone, North's pick.
I think the way Inferno ended is great for North, right? They managed to put some rounds on the board. G2 really had to fight to close out that game, because if North just loses 16-6, 16-7, then G2 is booming with confidence. You go into Cobble, if G2 starts on the T side, they can just snowball out of control. I feel for North on Cobblestone, it would be much better for them if they can win that knife round and start on the T side, because that's when they get to dictate the pace of the game. They are the ones making the plays, and we saw how good they can be on that T side.
And actually, it sounds like, we're going to be raring up the schedule. So quickly, yes and no's. Do we get to see a third? Do North win their map pick? Starting with you, Chaddy.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I would like a whole 3 maps for this grand final. And we'll find out if we do get it with your casters and with the Counter-Strike, which is coming up after a very short break. So stay tuned, and we'll see if North can win back on Cobble.